Today, I would like to talk about something fearful on that sense. Something about talking about messages which are so fearful that people don't want to hear the message. So one of the messages which is very fearful is that the climate change drift is already started and that there's no foreseeable way that humanity can change it. It was stable for a while, and humanity, civilization, invented the agriculture and developed in this stability, but currently it is unstabilized and it won't become stable again for the foreseeable future, for a long time. And humanity will adapt, or will try to adapt. It has adapted to many changes in the past. But currently, what humanity is doing is to continue to accelerate, to increase what is accelerating the climate drift. And this climate drift is climate change. If it changes too fast, other species will have trouble to adapt, and humanity in particular will have more difficulty to adapt, to reinvent itself in a changing climate, in a changing environment. So I wouldn't sing a song to convince people. I wouldn't sing a song or say a song to explain the technical details, but just for those who have doubts about it, just think. We were using oil, which took a very long time to accumulate in the ground. We were using very quickly. We were growing and having a focus on growing forever. Many of us still have a focus on growing. But the planet is finite and the technology to go to space is not available yet. And even then, the universe is finite. So anything which is focused on growth will encounter its limit at some point. It's not if it will reach its limit, it's when. Anybody who dreams about an infinite growth is just a mathematician or someone dreaming, not thinking about reality. And if you grow exponentially fast, like we have been doing in more than one way, you reach very quickly in logarithmic time in the amount of resources being consumed. You reach very quickly the limits of your growth, limits to growth. Those limits, we reach them. It was written a report in 1972 that depending on the policies of the change that will happen and the strategy chosen, one of the set of choice, like business as usual, which is more or less what has been happening, it would happen in 2020, between 2020 and 2030. And they were not precise about the date, but again, it was not a if, it was a when. And we are reaching the limits of the growth. I hear people hoping about technology, most of them religious people, not technology people, with hope that Food, we can grow food in labs. Yeah, this consumes a lot of energy. There are technical details that make it not very doable, scalable. Growth cannot be done in a infinitely, exponentially fast in a finite world. It's mathematics, it's physics, it's harsh, but that's just the fact of the universe. So what do we do if we accept those? I don't want to debate the technical detail of this. What do we do once we know that we cannot grow anymore? And that actually we should have stopped to grow a long time ago to be sustainable, grow in the consumption rates for each individual, growth in population, growth in consumption of fossil oil, growth in pollution of the environment. What can we do? Well, the end of the life of growth is not the end of life itself. We can invent a new type of life. If the climate will change because of the effect we have done already, but we still have resources, we still have ingenuity, we still have creativity, and we can invent a new life which projects in a long time with a better vision of what will happen in the long future. Such society, such vision, it needs not to be based on fossil oil, it needs to reuse what we produce, it needs to produce less, use less things and focus on what is useful. It probably needs to restrict some liberties, but we already have some liberty restricted, like smoking in public, like driving too fast on a car, like wasting resources of water when there is a penury and things like that. But it will have more freedom for our children, more freedom for our descendants to be able to live a decent life. So this new civilization, there are many challenges about it, social challenge and technological challenge. And we can start to invent it right now. We can start working on it, working on solar oven, on wood stove, which are not polluting, on new technology. There is a new industrial revolution where we can invent low technology, easy to repair, easy to build, easy to maintain, with a low cost, new way to teach about it, and new way to take decision on the long term for many generations to come. But to transition from one society to the other, it requires a group effort. It requires a lot of people agreeing. It requires to educate a lot of people, and that's what we are failing to do currently. So that's what I want to do, to educate people, to find new ways to educate and use traditional ways too, to educate, respecting everybody's feelings, to manage the difficulties that telling bad news to people, they have a tendency to refuse the news just because it's bad news, just because it hurts to think about it. It hurts me to think about this broken future of humanity, about what could have been done, what hasn't been done. But we need to find a discourse of things that we want to do. So I want to teach engineering with cardboard box, and teaching how to build solar oven and how to improve solar ovens. I want to teach creativity. I want to tell stories about a world without fossil oil, without so many private transportation, but still some public transportation, still some interaction between people far away, without plane except for very exceptional application. And a world where there will still be adventure, heroes, people happy to live, people happy to have children, people facing difficulties like in every stories. Stories we won't miss. Difficulties, that's not what we will miss. And overcoming the difficulties by working together, by collaborating, by being creative, by inventing new way to challenge all problems, by collaborating between species, between humans and non-humans. And in the long term, learning to deal with any environment, even environment much more hostile than the one we currently have and the one which will evolve from it. And that could be a bright future. That could be, we need to write science fiction stories about it. I will work on it, and focusing on it, yeah, it's not that much fear. It's a challenge. Challenge that cannot be confronted alone, a challenge of collaboration. And that will be the ultimate challenge, to collaborate when something collapses, fear is coming, and people might not collaborate as much if they have seen so many catastrophic movies where people in trouble become selfish and so on. And even if people collaborate locally, there will be people dividing us, accusing others for all their troubles, and taking advantage of this division. So we need to learn to collaborate on a scale that has never been seen before, probably, because climate change adaptation is not the task of a single group, it's a global task. And yeah, this too is a challenge. I have ideas to deal with it, but how to develop new collaboration techniques alone, you cannot. So you need to find other people. So we need to develop ways to collaborate like humanity has never collaborated before, I think. And those videos, I'm doing them for me, but if someone sees them and wants to collaborate, wants to share some of those ideas, let's collaborate.